Shadow Priest, so certainly ahead of the Rogue. It's going to be a very interesting matchup because in the past, Mage Warrior has been very versatile, very good at tunneling down these Affliction Warlocks with the Mortal Strike, with that healing debuff, and just high uptime since Warlocks aren't particularly mobile. But this isn't any Warlock, Sid. This is Chanimals.
Yeah, Chanimal is basically untouchable. Let's see if he can showcase that for us here today as we start our second elimination match of the day. The loser of this series will be going home. Delay trying to cross the map. Wealthy Man peeling him away with a silence and a stun. Chanimal already behind the pillar. He's going to load out some dots and then immediately duck behind that corner. He does not want to allow Valai to charge there for free. It's buying time for Wealthy Man to build up his damage the longer that he stalls it out. In the meantime, a counterspell has been secured onto Cubsy, but Chanimal shuts down the poly. Will he get the Ring of Frost? No. Wealthy Man will interrupt that. Ratapai moves in to try and follow up. He gets blinded and deflected away. And the defense of Super Frogs has been great, but Ratapai trinkets out to get aggressive. They want to get started. Valai is just going to go after the Rogue. Chanimal is so untouchable that they're not even going to try to go after him.
Chanimal's played that so well as well. He spell-locked the first polymorph, put Curse of Tongues on Maro so he didn't have time to cast the Ring of Frost, and then he was able to spell-lock the second polymorph, so nothing came out. Now Super Frogs take the lead as well with their offense. They forced the Trinket on Ratapai, they forced the Ice Block and a Cauterize. Meanwhile, Ascendant have achieved almost nothing. There's the full Hex onto Ratapai. This could just be the game immediately. Cheap shot on the Trinket, Dragon's Breath desperately as the purges are coming in, and Maro just falls. That was the most one-sided game I have ever seen in a live event.
So actually, there's going to be a remake. So
that explains it. I've never
Live or go onto a different target, but going after the Rogue with Earthshield and Feint doesn't seem like you're going to get much done. Let's see how Valai is going to deal with the start of this fight. Last time they got peeled away, Cubsy pushes up for an Earth Grab totem if he needs to, while Chanimal secures his gateway and portal. That totem is going to stall out Valai. He's going to actually dismount, and that's a bit of a mistake as a warrior if you want to go on the Warlock. You need to be on your mount to make it all the way across. Maro now is going to be opened up on, and that's going to put Ascendant on the back foot starting this out. Ratify into a full Hex, and this is a great start for Super Frogs.
This is a really great start, and Vilai, once again, he's just kind of hitting Wealthy Man. Now he finally connects to Chanimal. I want to see him stick. If he can put the pressure on, you can see Chanimal's porting away out of the right of your screen, now gating away. Vilai actually playing the Stormbolt, so he's not playing that double time, double charge mobility. Actually swapping some damage over onto Cubsy at this point in time, but I really want to see them connecting to Chanimals. Honestly, Maro right now is soloing the damage on him. We can see both trinkets have been forced out. Ratapai already had to use his, so Super Frogs definitely getting the advantage in this one. Vilai needs to connect on Chanimals.
It looks like they're actually just training down Cubsy, the Resto Shaman, and I'm curious if they're going to get much done. They go for a Fear, but it ends up breaking to damage, and it seems like Ascendant are a bit disorganized in this composition. Now they're trying to get some damage on Chanimal. They only touched him for a couple of seconds. They got half of his health away, so he's playing it very safe by just staying out of line of sight, going in and out, getting dots up. He goes for a Succubus play. That's Seduce onto Ratapai. He's going to crowd control him for 8 seconds. If they can get follow-up out of that, such as a Fear, it could be devastating. It doesn't look like they're in position to do so, so Ratapai should be able to top his team up with Rapture popped. Maro is still the target. There is a ton of damage being dished out by Wealthy Man right now. That's the Cauterize. That's the Ice Block. Cubsy is still under fire, though, and I'm wondering if Valai might be able to solo him. He's still dipping dangerously low. He gates across the map to escape from the Warrior, but now Maro is launching Pyro after Pyro. Cubsy's trying to heal himself back up behind the pillar. Bit of a scary moment for him, but ultimately he didn't have to trade out much, and now whereas Maro is very much so on the back foot.
Yeah, Cubsy definitely needs to play it careful. He's playing the Relentless talent, so if he gets caught in a bad Stormbolt, he could just die. But at the same time, you trust this healer more than anyone else in those situations. He knows when he's fine. He knows when he needs to get those preemptive Spirit Links out. We can see once again Vendetta being committed by Wealthy Man right now. He's trying to get some good damage over onto Maro, who trades out the Temporal Shield. We saw Pain Suppression overlap there as well. Those were the last real defensives from Ascendants. They need to get this kill soon onto Cubsy with this all-in strategy, and they've actually caught him off guard here. He's in a little bit of trouble. His team far away from him. Chanimal's now reconnecting with those spears. One more setup will kill Maro. Can Cubsy survive?
All right, a full Fear on Ratapai with a full stun on Maro. This is the setup to win the game, to end the match. Valai is trying to stall it out with a double Dragon's Breath from Maro, but Ratapai into the full Hex, and Cubsy's going to snag the crowd control chain for the win. Not as dominant, but still cool.
I want to see him either go for a Tunnel the Shaman strategy where they kind of cleave everybody down, or I want to see them just sit on Chanimal and just spam polymorphs out.
Right into the action. We're hopping into game number 2, and keep in mind that this is for top 4.
All right, Wealthy Man with an amazing sap on Valai. He's going to set them behind, but ultimately not too much of a punish. Maro now into the kidney shot, but Valai was allowed to re-stealth, and he's cheap-shotting the entire team. Ratapai is moving in. I'm wondering what he's looking to get done. Maybe a Psychic Screen. Cubsy's repositioning, trying to get away from Ratapai. Ratapai's just gunning down for him, looking for that. Cubsy needs to find a way to get away. He pre-Earthen Shield totems, expecting the Psychic Scream, and it answers the Vendetta quite well. It needs to be enough, though. It seems to be holding on for now. A DR blind, that's I was not really expecting that, but now a full poly is going to force the trinket of Cubsy, but no cooldown overlap between Chanimal and Cubsy just yet. Cubsy's trying to fake cast the interrupts, getting step kicked by Vilai. Nice play, putting Chanimal behind, but ultimately not getting too much from him. Now I would love to see them go after Cubsy with no trinket though.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty reasonable opener from Ascendant, but I see to the left of me Zico is shaking his head because Mara is running that Prismatic Cloak. He doesn't have the Burning Determination. That's going to make this game so difficult for him. Of course, on the RLS, you've got the Wind Shear, you've got the spell locks from Chanimals, you've got the kicks from Wealthy Man. It's just such an uphill battle for him. It's porting around the map, but he's struggling to get the damage out at this point in time. We see Temporal Shield committed. They're trying to get some pressure over onto Chanimals. Can they get the crowd control on Cubsy? Will be the questions. We see the Kidney Shot triggered. Burning Determination, the Unending Resolve on Chanimals is still available, so he has that portal, he has those defensive cooldowns as we see the Sheep on Wealthy Man. They need to push up though. I want to see Radapai and Maro trying to get some of that crowd control over onto Cubsy so that they can take down Chanimals before those trinkets start to come back.
Oh, they managed to sneak a polymorph in. Chanimal needs to be careful. Vilai's right on top of him. How is he going to escape the situation? Instead of trying to kite away, he's just going to trade a defensive cooldown. This is going to allow him to become way more tanky in this position, and he can also counter pressure, and he's going to result in an ice block from Maro, which means Maro is ultimately further behind now cooldown-wise, but a counterspell could secure a kill. Can they chain anything off of it? Doesn't look like they can just yet. Cubsy barely gets a heal in there. Might have been a Hellstone as well for Chanimal. Radapai getting locked out now into a Wind Shear. Maro put even further behind. The Temporal Shield was well timed right before the stun, so all of this damage is being absorbed, and it gets healed right back up at the end of that. Perfect timing from Maro to recover that situation, but mana is not in their favor. Super Frogs, Cubsy's about to get his Trinket. Trinket Spirit Link is going to be the next big line of defense, and now with the Succubus play, Maro could be in trouble.
Yeah, he really could be. Maro and Radapai are some of the best in the world when it comes to this Rogue Mage play, but they need to get the offense. We see Maro dropping low, Radapai struggling to keep him alive, DR blind, Rapture, Trinket coming out from him, Arcane Power, they're trying to reverse the pressure. Here comes the Polymorph over onto Cubsy. This Arcane Power dealing so much damage to Chanimals, doesn't really have the defensive coins to answer it. We might see the Spirit Link coming out here as Cubsy tries to reconnect with his Warlock. Cheap shot from Vilai. He's been playing well in this game. Do they have the fear to follow up? I don't think so. Radapai means they should be able to survive. We see the Urban Shield Totem, some heals finally coming out onto Chanimals as he does stabilize in this situation.
Look at Radapai though, 0 mana, and Maro might be out of time. Full Hex secured once again by Cubsy. Great crowd control from him overall in this series. They just need a little bit more damage. They're racing the Temporal. It's got one more second, it goes off, but it doesn't do much. Radapai is now into the full fear from Chanimal. The crowd control is insane. The damage is so high. Chanimal just needs a little bit more to put Maro down. Vilai is dipping low as well. He trades out evasion. Maro getting locked on Arcane. Radapai's running out of mana. He's got Archangel up. He's doing whatever he can in a miracle attempt to try and take down Chanimal. Radapai moves in, lands the double. Poly on Wealthy Man. Wealthy Man knows he has to trinket. He needs to get aggressive and end this game now before Ascendant have a chance with the full polymorph secured. Maro blinks in. Vilai is right on top of Chanimal. There's nothing for him. He gains across and they do it with absolutely nothing left in the tank. Ascendant tie this 1-1.
What a game coming out of Mara and Radapai here. We talked about them trying to get offensive. They actually played it even better than that. They did the resets, they got the health back, and then when they pushed in, they pushed in as a unit. Now we see the Hex over onto Radapai. Mara should be able to survive though. Wealthy Man will not be mobile enough to connect to this Arcane Mage. Of course, Radapai is low on mana. You can see that tiny little blue bar on his health, but you've got to believe that Ascendant at this point, they're not going down to a 2v2 like they did yesterday, Sid.
I would like to say that, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. I mean, Wealthy Man should be going down here shortly. I believe if they can get anything onto Cubsy in terms of crowd control, even just a counter spell. Maro caught into a kidney shot, but there's no Vendetta for a few more seconds to really punish this. But maybe this Vendetta from Wealthy Man finds a kill. He's forced to just run away. He can't even stay out in the open, obviously, with down a player. Cubsy now caught into a stun. Wealthy Man with very little cooldown swaps over to Vilai with a full blind, but unfortunately the blind got premonitioned or broke there. So nice play, and now Wealthy Man is ultimately so far behind. Cubsy drops the Spirit Link. He's trying to buy his team whatever he can. I mean, if they threw the game by maybe celebrating too soon, you can't really blame them for trying to play that out, but ultimately Ascendant are now officially tied. Will Chanimal, the ultimate survival god, be able to deny it?
Yep, 64% win rate on that Affliction. Warlock is probably down to about 60 after that last game. But Mara, Vilai, and Radapai have been playing so well. And I don't want to take anything away from these guys. We're obviously going to have some criticism of the gameplay from time to time. Vilai finding his way in this team, hasn't got so much practice with them. But Radapai and Mara have really been carrying this. They've been showing why they've been dominating the European scene on that Priest and the Mage. Mara especially, I think in the last game, Zico put it best. He played it on hard mode potentially, but he still made it work. He took down Chanimal, and now he's looking to do another for his team.
All right, Maro securing a polymorph early on. This is a great start for Ascendant, but Chanimal denies it. He portals back out of line of sight and avoids the entire initial assault. Look at Chanimal running laps away from Valai, finally catching up to him, but right at the end of the crowd control chain, and now Chanimal gaining across the map right on the Vendetta. Perfect timing. Cubsy's going to follow up. We see a Seduce used on Valai to just deny this opening Vendetta. You can tell Chanimal is going to be focused on more of a long game with a play like that, but now Radopi won't have to worry about it, so let's see if Radopi can punish that defensive decision.
Yeah, and I really like that decision-making change or adaptation from Chanimal in this game. They recognized that Radopi actually ran out of mana in the last one. It was very close to Super Frogs taking that, so maybe if you make a couple of those decisions ever so slightly differently and with a more defensive mindset, they will be able to survive to that win condition. We see Chanimal caught up in the middle of the map, but that's something that we actually really like from the Warlock because it means he's far away from his portal. He'll be able to use that effectively to survive, as we see Maro yet again landing an important polymorph, but Chanimal just ports away.
Yeah, now they're forced to swap to Wealthy Man, but he's down to half. Chanimal now gates to Cubsy, but he might have gated into a double Psychic Scream on the end of it. Maro's got a couple missiles and a barrage. Wealthy Man is dipping low. The split pressure from Ascendant is actually insane. Cubsy needs to try and pick him back up. A very close call. A greedy move by Cubsy, and now he's caught into a stun. This could easily be the Trinket Spirit Link, and it will. He trinkets so into the blind. Valai pulled that trigger just a second too early. That blind could have been so punishing if he just held it a couple seconds longer.
Yeah, I really don't like that blind from Valai. It's DR. It doesn't force anything because they should have just saved it for the next setup. They did such a good job forcing that trinket without using the blind. If they just saved it, I mean, Wealthy Man has nothing left, almost just like Cloak of Shadows. They're swapping it back over onto Chanimal, though. Here is the Vendetta. This could be a lot of pressure. We see everything coming in. Arcane dual damage from Radopi as well. They're getting as much as they can, but they don't have the crowd control from Cubsy. Just imagine if that was a full blind there, that would have easily been the game.
All right, Chanimal locking Maro out as he tried to get a cheeky displacement polymorph on Cubsy. Cubsy has to play so perfectly right now. He has to avoid polymorph after polymorph. He needs to be aware of Radopi. Radopi is very close to him. Maro's over on top of him. Wealthy Man denies the poly. They need to keep stopping these polymorphs. Now the kidney shot to stall it out a bit longer. Maro trinkets out, blinks away. Maro has finally been forced away, but Radopi moves in and Cubsy wasn't ready. Chanimal tries to portal, but will Valai be able to instantly reconnect? Maro blinks in. Chanimal shuts down the poly. They need to stop these polymorphs for as long as possible. Maro's trying to go for another one, but he spent way too long aggressive. And now he's very low on HP. A full Hex secured by Cubsy. Temporal Shield traded out. They're not able to really race against this. They're trying their best, but I don't think they're going to. Temporal Shield goes off. Valai is now rotting down. Chanimal spread pressure is finally sinking in, but ultimately the mana is actually tied. Maro might actually have an opportunity to just Cubsy as well, and this is still anyone's match.
Yeah, we see another good step kick coming out from Valai. He recognizes he needs to start this crowd control chain. Now gets the kidney over. Maro's determined to land those polymorphs, but he's not burningly determined to land them. Now he's forced into the ice block here with Wealthy Man just walking all over him, getting those interrupts. We see another double fear as Radopi once again looks to set up the play for his team. The fear on Maro excellently timed by Chanimal's out of that ice block as once again he's just hiding behind the pillar. He's sitting with Wealthy Man. They're protecting each other, and Valai has no idea what to do to connect to this man.
Yeah, Valai is actually just going to attack Cubsy, and I almost like that. I'd rather see them just attack all three targets if Chanimal's going to go for this mana game and do more damage than Chanimal. Cubsy now jumping behind the pillar as Valai moves for a stun. Chanimal trinkets out. They may opt to gate away. They're trying to tank it out with the Earthen Shield Totem. It's going to protect them for now to tank out this initial assault from Valai with Vendetta, but now Radopi is getting shut down, and Maro doesn't have defensive cooldowns. Maro needs to kite like a god. Will he be able to avoid Wealthy Man? He blinks away. He polymorphs Wealthy Man with the blind on the Cubsy. Great teamwork between Valai and Maro. Now Chanimal has been isolated. What's he going to do in this situation? He gets feared. I can imagine he's already gated across the map. Now onto the opposite side. Valai is in hot pursuit to look for a solo kill. He gets Infernal Stun. He trinkets that. He goes all in to get a kill on Chanimal. How is Chanimal going to respond? He's playing it greedy. He's not using the unending result. This greedy decision could cost him the game, or it could carry him later on. He gets away with the greedy play, but now they followed up with a kick. Maybe this greedy play still costs him. He's forced to use the Hellstone, and now will recover. A very greedy move from Chanimal, but he gets away with it. Radopi's moving in. He's completely tapped on mana. Finally, Super Frogs have met their win condition. Now all they need is damage.
Yeah, they really do. Radopi struggling. You can see the pain suppression coming out, those final defensive cooldowns. We see the kidney onto Cubsy. This could be their last-ditch attempt. We see the fear from Radopi. They need to get the polymorph off that. Where's Maro? Can he land? It doesn't look like it. Actually, he does, but Cubsy trinkets because he was able to save the trinket on the blind earlier from Valai. Again, those greedy plays coming out huge for the team. Now they trade out the Unending Resolve. Now they trade out the Urban Shield Totem. They're looking for the kill. They get the trinket on Radopai. Fair into Hex. Maro caught up in the middle of the map. Purge is even coming up from Cubsy. He recognizes this could be the game. This could be game 3 going Super Frog's way. But if they don't get the kill here, Cubsy has no trinket. They might have one last chance at this one.
Radopai is pulling off a miracle to heal through that assault by Cubsy. They go for the blind, but it's ultimately fully DR'd. That blind could have won the game. That's a huge throw, and now Chanimal's completely on the back foot. Valai has Vendetta, and Ascendant are coming back.
Arcane power.
Gets available. He barely gets it up. Now Maro is on the back foot as Super Frogs have nothing left. Ascendant have nothing left. It's a race to the finish to see who falls first. Valai with nothing. He's running away from Wealthy Man. Wealthy Man just needs to even tickle him a little bit, and Valai will fall over. Radopai pre-barriers. He gets interrupted. Goes for the Shadow Man, but Maro gets swapped to and ultimately taken down. Back and forth. Bitter end, and it's going to be Super Frogs that come out ahead. Now one more win to put a win for NA on that scoreboard and stay alive and keep our dreams alive, Rich.
Or for NA, and Ascendant will go home, and the gates are open.
Yep, and it is going to come down to a lot of Radopai. He's been the guy keeping them alive, but he's also been the guy setting up some of these plays. He's got some huge Psychic Screams, or Fears as they're otherwise known, onto Cubsy that set up basically victories or nigh victories coming out of Ascendant in this series so far. So we'll see him pushing up. You can see he's going to the same pillar as Cubsy right now, looking to kickstart that play with a Fear. But I think Cubsy even might have gatewayed away from that. Villi, meanwhile, also got sapped.
Whoa.
And Ascendant struggling from
They're
the
going to
start.
all in Radopai straight off the bat. Is he going to be able to handle the pressure? They used the succubus on Maro. Maro's just not able to help Radopai at all. Valai is trying to come back. He cheap shots Wealthy Man away, and luckily they've got Radopai on their team. Any lesser experienced Discipline Priest would have fallen to that initial assault. Radopai now triggers the blind. He gets aggressive, lands the fear. Chanimal forced to portal back. Valai is trying to reconnect. Maro gets peeled away. Now Chanimal gates to the opposite side, right next to Cubsy. Vendetta is ticking. Valai just can't connect. Cubsy should be able to re-stabilize through the pressure. I love these polymorphs on Wealthy Man behind the pillar. It's really difficult for Cubsy to always dispel him. Maro capitalize on that positioning all the time. Chanimal now trying to reposition. Cubsy though getting counterspelled. If Valai can connect, Wealthy Man's preventing him. Now with the kidney shot, Valai triggers. He's had enough of this. He's going to go for a cooldown. Let's see what he can get done. I don't know if they're going to be able to get too much. Healing Tide Totem gets dropped. Radopai is playing a lot more aggressively. He's chasing down Cubsy for Fears, but Cubsy is great. He's repositioned away from him constantly. Will Radopai be able to get there in time? He penances. He's running in. Cubsy's running away from his. Both healers are just trying to harass each other as much as possible. Chanimal's still being trained down now. A swap onto Maro. Immediate trinket from him.
Yeah, immediate trinket coming out, and you've got to look at the defensive cooldowns. Even though it looks like Ascendant's had a fair bit of pressure in this game, Super Frogs really haven't used that much. Now they're initiating with the kidney shot into the polymorph coming out of Cubsy, but you can see beautiful Fear onto Radopai. Should deny the follow-up crowd control unless Maro can land this. He does. Able to get those polymorphs. Radopai looking for the Fear off that, but Cubsy is... It doesn't matter he's in crowd control because Chanimals is just out of the picture to the right of your screen. Villi now getting caught up in the stun. We see Vendetta committed from Wealthy Man, peeling for his Warlock with the counter pressure, and once again they're playing down that blue bar. They're looking at the mana on Radopai saying, hey, if we can burn you down without dying, then we will win this game by attrition.
They're swapping over to Cubsy. This is an all-in ditch. Last effort, but Cubsy just gates away and denies the swap. Well-timed Temporal Shield allows Maro to recover, but now Chanimal setting up with a Succubus. Unfortunately not able to sit onto Radopai. He's forced to fear him DR'd, and now the crowd control chain is lost. The pressure is starting to mount. Vendetta has been popped by Valai onto Chanimal. How is Chanimal going to handle it? He portals away, but Valai sprints after him. Wealthy Man peels for Chanimal. Great peels. Valai, though, ultimately should be able to connect, I think, shortly. Chanimal's just trying to line aside him as much as possible. Cubsy's been CC'd for an eternity. Look how far away Cubsy is. He gets Psychic Scream to the other side. Chanimal, with the smart gateway, goes right back to him.
Yeah, I mean, Villi's just having such a hard time. Wealthy Man's just chasing him the entire game. Chanimal can't be connected to by that rogue. We see the blind coming out once again onto Radopai, forcing out that trinkets. That forces Villi to have to play for different options. He actually forced the Urban Shield Totem out there, I believe, from Cubsy, so that's maybe not needed. If they can get the swap over onto Chanimals, they can perhaps punish that. We see another kidney shot onto the rogue of Ascendant, struggling so hard. Maro, meanwhile, trying to land some crowd control. Radopai really is trying to carry the match, but Maro dropping low, has to commit the ice block, overlap with the pain suppression. It's looking dire straits for Ascendant.
I mean, there's a full fear secured. Valai has Cloak of Shadows, but will that even be enough? Wealthy Man is gunning for this kill. They want to knock Ascendant out of the tournament. Maro and Valai are trying to retreat away, but Radopai is surely going to be running out of mana soon. Rapture powered shield spam is all he's got. Valai gets stunned. He trinkets out. Radopai gets locked. Chanimal's shutting Radopai out of the fight with another fear, and Valai is ultimately maybe going to go down here as Radopai does everything he can. Penance to top him off. Maro and Valai maybe have 2 more attempts to find a kill, but Super Frogs have basically every defensive cooldown to stay alive. It would be a throw for Super Frogs to lose this game. Cubsy trades the trinket for the Vendetta. A smart decision. Now his team can get aggressive and close this game.
This is something that you'll see Rogue Mage do when they do fall behind in a game. They often default to that healer strategy. If Cubsy messes up, he will fall. It's a difficult matchup for him, but you believe in Cubsy. He's one of North America's most veteran healer. He knows how to survive this. There's no trinket on him. They'll be looking for that last swap as Ascendant have started to stabilize, but you can see Vendetta, 20 seconds on Wealthy Man. Damage stacking up from Chanimals, who is in the open. These all-in strategies are dangerous as we see the swap over onto Chanimals now, ports away. Now they might set up onto Cubsy. I'd love to see the swap. Here we go.
With that kidney shot landed, Mark of Allen is fully channeled. There's going to be a ton of damage that Chanimal needs to protect Cubsy from. Spam fears. He tries to fake cast the Shadow Step kick. Did he find the fake cast? He goes for it. No, he gets counterspelled. Tons of pressure from Morrow. They're trying to pull off the miracle. They've only got one more opportunity to kill Cubsy, and they need it right now. But they're not. It's not enough. Morrow now on the back foot with no ice block. Gets gripped back to the pillar, but look at Radipai's mana bar. There's nothing left. It's absolutely gone. Vilai is retreating away as Ascendant flail to just stay alive.
Yep, looks like Ascendant may well descend here out of the tournament. Maro doing everything he can, getting those polymorphs, doing what he can just to keep himself alive. They might have one more go at Cubsy, but Cubsy knows that he's playing on the opposite pillar, far away. No trinket for 30 seconds. He knows he's exposed. Chanimals and Wealthy Mans have the defensives. They have the trinkets. They can survive, but Cubsy is the one weak link. We see Radipai and Maro both pushing in. They need this swap. They have no time left. They have no mana.
This is
the go. Here comes the kidney shot, free Elf and Shield with the Astral Shift as well. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Even the defensive blind overkill from Wealthy Man as he looks to push for the end of the game.
And now with Cubsy's trinket coming up in 10 seconds, Super Frogs are looking closer and closer to victory. Can Ascendant somehow stay alive and pull off a miracle again? Or will they fall? Radipai doing whatever he can. Mind control because it costs no mana. He's trying to do whatever he can. Power Shield. Is this going to be it? Morrow blinks, but he blinks right into Champ's line of sight. One more stun to gun for a kill. Will Cubsy throw the game away? He has Spirit Link. They stun up Vilai. Vilai trinkets out. It's all or nothing. Cubsy has to die or they're going to lose.
Yeah, he really does have to die. He's even throwing out the wind shears onto Radipai. He knows they need to get this kill soon. Now Vilai dropping low, has the evasion, no defensive cooldowns on him. Maro also out. You got to look at Radipai though. He used the Archangel, uses the Rapture. After those expired, there will be nothing left for this team of Ascendant. We've been saying that for a little while, but they've been doing such a good job kiting away. Maro on that Mage been carrying his team essentially. You can see those polymorphs undispellable. Cubsy might even look for a little drink here, but Maro pushes in, denies that. Those he wants nothing to do with that, but at the cost of a kidney shot, another bit of pressure and more damage from Chanimals, and Radipai just doesn't have the answers.
All right, they're going to swap back to Chanimal, but Chanimal has all of his defensives. They can't afford to do that, and the clock is running out as Super Frogs are looking to close. Pain suppression to deny it, but they swap over to Vilai, who also has nothing left. Vendetta gets popped in desperation to make something happen, but they just have nothing left as Morrow is rotting down to Chanimal's pressure and falls. Super Frogs keep North America's dreams alive as well as their own, and will be advanced.
NA heroes.
I'm joined here with Chanimals after a very impressive performance. Now that your team has had an opportunity to play against a lot of the different European teams, the theme of this LAN has sort of been NA versus EU. What do you think about Ascendant as a team?
They're a good team, and I especially think Mara is really good at Mage. I think he plays insane always, even in practice. It's always really hard against him. So yeah, good team.
Glad to hear you have some respect for them. That's nice. It's a great match to watch. Now, one thing with your team in specifically is we had a little bit of criticism for you guys that you really only played that RMP, and we didn't really see too much of you. Now that we're in this LAN tournament, it seems like you guys are only playing RLS, and it's sort of the same thing we saw last year at the North American Regionals. What is it about this composition that you like about it in a LAN tournament?
It's definitely a comfort pick for us, and it's really good into some of the comps here. We feel really comfortable on it, we're good at it, and yeah, I think if we play well, we can beat most of the teams here just as that comp even.
Cool. Also, your next match is going to be against Skill Cap Black. You know, they've been bringing in the Outlaw Rogue. Is that something your team is worried about, or are you guys feeling like you're prepared?
Skill Cap Black and XRB were probably the two hardest teams for us, at least that we were expecting, so I expected that next series to be really hard. Yeah. Hopefully we do well, but it's going to be really difficult.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to watching it, and good luck to you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Rich.